Dave, I really don't think anybody's going to be calling me Senpai the Third. No one even calls me Senpai, so...
Dude, you gotta aim real high. Shoot for the moon.
I try to aim as low as possible so I can hit 100% of the shots that I take. Friends, welcome to the 17th episode of this show. Called something or something else. You know, the episode's called The Bulwark, I guess. Something. So here's the thing. Number one, I recently got blue light lenses, and then I didn't wear them at Battletech, and so people lost their fucking minds demanding that I wear them. So here we go. This is your 4-star summer version of APGamingREAL.
Oh,
with blue light lenses. I don't think it makes it better. In fact, I think it makes it worse. They're so shiny.
You look 15% smarter though. So
yeah.
I thought they were like blue tinted lenses. You know, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, you can clearly see them reflecting the color blue right out of it.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's I mean,
they're
that's
yellow.
Normal modern.
All right,
glasses,
I want you to. This is how I describe it. You were already there for this. I want you to imagine that you're watching a movie in Hollywood made in the last 20 years, and it's set in Mexico. All right, that is what my whole life looks like now. Got that yellow light lens filter. Sometimes a mariachi band appears behind me and begins playing a jaunty tune right when a shootout breaks out. Okay. Occasionally, I hear the announcer tell me that it's Once Upon a Time in Delaware.
How many pairs of glasses do you own, out of interest?
I mean, a lot.
How many functional pairs of glasses do you own?
I mean, describe functional. All of my pairs of glasses
Not novelty and intended to improve your eyesight.
0. I don't need to wear glasses for that. I have eyesight like a fucking hawk, bro.
So I'm one of those people that owns the minimum amount of everything. I have like 1 pair of sunglasses. I have 1 pair of business shoes and 1 pair of non-business shoes, and that's it. You know, I keep minimalist. Actually, no, I tell lies. So I do have shooting glasses. So I have shooting glasses and sunglasses, but that's it.
I'll buy that.
That's form over function.
So
I mean, that's
within arm's
form,
reach,
right?
I have the chrome glasses, and I have the second set of blue light lenses, and then I'd say within walking distance, I have all my shooting glasses, so 3 more sets, and then a second set of chrome glasses somewhere in my house. So that's what, 6, 7? Say 7. I have 7 pairs of glasses, and I don't need any of them to perform any tasks beyond firing a weapon. For the rest of my intro, now that we're totally derailed, and again, make sure to download Fate Grand Order in order to summon me in my new 4-star summer version. I guess the only major thing that's happened to me.
I hate that joke. Take it
so
back.
Good.
Put
You
it
like
back
it though, don't you? It's good. It's good.
Push it down. Push it
Librarian
back.
Arthur? Yeah.
How do you push your eyeglasses up? Is it on the side?
No. Listen, I was playing Valkyria Chronicles today. That's why I know you have to do the Minerva Victor. That's where you push them all up with with your forehand. I guess the only other major thing that's happened to me lately that wasn't cooking and buying premium ingredients related is that I got my credit score, and it's 811, and I think the cap is 818, so it's incredibly good. I had a lot of trouble breaking the 750 barrier, and then all of a sudden...
How much debt did you have to go into to climb your way out of it to get a good credit score?
Really.
Isn't that... Oh, wait, hang on.
So my credit score has always been okay, but now it's at... I'm almost at that perfect cell level. I just have 1 more form I need to ascend to.
So my understanding of the credit score system in America is if you want to build good credit, you first need to spend money that you don't have and go into debt and then repay that debt.
No.
In order to prove that you can repay
Listen,
loans.
that was a problem for me initially in the opposite direction, is that I didn't have any debts at all. I would not take or buy things that I could not pay outright.
Yeah, because it was like something like to do with like if you have a history of paying back loans, then that is more important.
Correct.
To a bank.
Never have a loan.
I think buying my car in cash is what put me over the edge. And regularly paying back but that's just something I've been doing my whole life.
Wait, how does paying for a car in cash affect your credit score?
I have no idea.
He could have got a loan, but he
could have got a loan, but
so.
I didn't need to.
Yeah.
Because of your illicit activities, right? Like that's sort of the line there.
I am worried about that in the state of Delaware, and I think federally, if you spend more than $10,000 in cash on a car, they automatically open a police investigation to make sure that you didn't acquire the funds illicitly. Because they assume you're, like trying to wash your drug dealer money. You buy it from a car lot and then you sell it back to another used car lot, and now you've got clean cash.
Yeah, I watch Good Girls. I know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
So it's like weeds, but like instead of weed, it's like washing cash. So
I mean, there's a lot of ways to wash cash. So
yeah, but no, it's specifically about housewives getting into crime, and instead of it being marijuana, it's washing cash. Yeah,
gym right there. Gym membership, #1 way to wash cash in the United States. Most people will never show up at the gym. You just need a very small setup. That's it.
Wow.
All right. Well, rather than talk about illicit criminal activities that I don't approve of,
I know how to do.
And have the most amazing credit score
I know how to
it.
assemble firearms and bombs, and yet I don't go outside and set off firearms and bombs on a regular basis.
Well,
I know how to make all sorts of chemical concoctions due to my chemical engineering experience and a course in high energy materials, and yet I don't use that on a regular basis. I'm sorry, James. I know all the nice places on the human body where if you poke at them with a sharp object, high pressure liquids come flying out of them and then you expire. I don't use that knowledge ever.
All right, Wookiee Doctor. Jesus Christ.
Listen, Wookiee Doctor is the greatest setup in Edge of the... It's impossible to defeat. Wookiee Doctor is so strong.
It is
so
really
strong. Wookiee Doctor, incredible powers. So strong.
Outside of the fact that you can't communicate in English in role-playing,
I mean, it's automatically assumed that everyone understands you unless it's plot relevant. James, what do you have going on this week?
Not a lot. I played 2 more games of 9th edition yesterday. I lost them both. We're trying out the Crusade mechanics, which is sort of like the start small and grow your army from there. So you start at like 25 power level, which is like maybe 500 points in the old money. I just had some absolutely shocking luck. I mean, to give you an example, I had one thing yesterday where I had 6 attacks hitting on 2s were L1s, wounding on 2s were L1s, and one of them got through. So that was just an absolute shocker for me. So I don't feel bad that I lost that badly. I just recognize that my dice were not in it for me yesterday.
That's awful. Everything you just described was bad.
And the other game I lost literally on a 50-50 roll. At the end of the day, we were both holding one objective at the end, and whoever one objective goes away in this particular rule set, and whoever held the last objective wins the game. And I was on one, they were on one, and we roll randomly, and my one disappeared. So it was literally a coin flip at the end of that game as to who won. So that's not as bad, but still, you know, I need a moral victory. I've invited all my friends that are really shit at 40k over to play so that I can actually get a win in this new edition.
No, you didn't invite me to fight you.
Well, I mean, you want to come out of my place anytime, you're welcome to. There's a mandatory 14-day quarantine period, just so you know, when you come into Australia from the US.
Don't worry about it. I've been mandatorily quarantining since before it was cool.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, no, I should get some more TTS games going. Actually, I actually loaded up all the TTS stuff last night again to start prepping for the end of this season. I don't need to work out whether I want to use a pre-existing map or try and magic my own map together. But yeah, that's been since Thursday about it. I was saying to you before the show, Arthur, I showed my kids Return of the Jedi finally. So I've been taking them through 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, you know, the order that I saw them in. So I told them that now that they've watched episode 6, they've got to wait 16 years before they can watch episode 1, like I did.
What? That's ridiculous.
They've probably watched the entire movie already just through prequel memes.
Well, I got it. You have to watch it while you're young and while pod racing is still cool, because if you watch it after that, all you're ever gonna see is Anakin missing the high five with his best friend at the end of the race.
Well, it's funny because my kids have like kids age Star Wars picture books that, you know, that were like first readers, that sort of stuff. And so they've read those books and they give away a lot of the sort of pertinent details. Like my eldest son, it was a revelation about Darth Vader being Luke's father. Spoiler alert, sorry if you haven't seen this 1977 film. But that he didn't realize that, but he already knew that Darth Vader was named Anakin Skywalker from reading like stories of the prequels in picture books. He just didn't make that connection that because the name was the same, maybe they're related. And he missed out on the fact that Obi-Wan referred to Darth Vader as, or referred to Anakin Skywalker as his father in the first film.
I see.
But it's, you know, it's interesting to sort of try and see what it's like for them. Obviously, they're seeing it for the first time. But no, that was fun. And other than that, I think I sort of finished The Elder Scrolls Online's original story this week after however many years since that game came out. That's it, really. Yeah, I experimented with some heavy weathering on models, which I posted onto the chat as well. But I just went along to a model shop and I bought just a crap load of different brands of weathering powders and weathering paints and that sort of thing. And there was this one particular one I got that looked really good for doing rust, but all the instructions were in Japanese. And so I went onto YouTube to try and read about this brand, which is called something like Mr. Weathering. And all the instructions were like, use rubber gloves when you use this paint. If you ingest it, go straight to hospital. And given my propensity for like licking my brushes to like clean up the nibs when I'm painting, I thought I'm not going to put this one aside and maybe save this for a rainy day weathering exercise rather than just experimenting with it right now. But that's my week. Oh, actually, sorry, can I say one more thing, Arthur? Just before I hand over.
I'm not going to stop you, but yeah, go ahead.
So one of the bits of 40K news this week was that Games Workshop actually put on sale these mystery boxes. So they were £75 in the UK, $225 in the US, I think, about 120 US. And the idea is you don't know what you get if you're buying it. They're faction-based, so there was an Imperium one, for example. And the idea is when you get your mystery box, it's going to have stuff equal to twice what you paid for it. So if you pay 120 in the US, you can get $240 worth of minis, but you don't know what they are. And
a lot of people rid of all the shitty ones they don't want.
Yeah, a lot of people are calling them loot boxes, although they're not technically a loot box because apparently it's fixed what's in each one in each country. So if you were to buy 10 in America, you would get 10 of the same sort of stuff. So because there's no random factor, it's not really a loot box. It's just a blind box, so to speak. But you can't gamble on it by trying to buy more to get more lucky. And so I decided to, like, I didn't really want the stuff in there. I don't need anything right now, but I thought, for the sake of my own podcast journalistic integrity, such as it exists,
there it is.
I decided to buy one and sort of I'm going to unbox it on the
whatever you need to tell yourself, James, for the podcast.
I like to analyze what GW does now from the point of view of a product marketing person.
Yeah.
And so, like you say, so everyone goes through it's straight away all their shitty stuff. But probably there's two things it could be. One thing is they've overbought on current stock, like so things that are factual now, like intercessors, etc., and they just overproduced. They've got too much stock on the shelves, too much working capital tied up, and so they're trying to free up working capital by moving some of that. Alternatively, as you say, they're trying to get rid of old, obsolete, slow-moving stuff that is just probably already written down on a balance sheet, and so any gains here are pure gains from a profitability point of view.
I wonder if some of it's possibly the easy to build stuff that they currently, I know in England, in like the UK, they took off the market off their site. Yeah, well, they all went last time to buy, but they were already out of stock by the time they made them last time to buy. Although they had some in some stores still, though. I went to a store and bought some in a store. Yeah, you'll have that as well. But. Yeah. In any case, I don't care if I get shit. I don't care if I get 15 Castellan Creeds in clan packs. I just want to report on that and say either A, this was a good deal, or B, this was a complete waste of time, never do it again, sort of thing. But what I did do was I posted on someone else's YouTube channel who was talking about it, saying, hey,
I'm in Australia. Australia's going to get it, a day before everybody else. So I'm going to do an unboxing video. And I've had a shitload of people suddenly subscribe to my YouTube channel, probably hoping to see my unboxing video when I do it. So it's a nice little way to bring in new subscribers. So I'm going to make sure that when I do that unboxing video, I also advertise where else you can find me, including on this show, and try and drive some business this way. That's my last thing. Sorry to run over long.
How long before that's all your channel does?
Unboxing videos?
Yeah.
Look, if that's where the money is, you got to chase that script. You know how it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got my other videos on YouTube right now that are not unlisted, because I've got lots of unlisted videos. But all my display videos are my own Dark Heresy campaign, which didn't finish. I think the last episode has 3 likes and 2 dislikes, so I'm slightly ahead there on aggregate. It's
really tough to get dislikes.
But yeah,
I say that as me. So
how long also before this company, what was it, Warhammer Games? No,
Games Workshop.
Games Workshop, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
How long before they ditch plastic models for a card-based system where all you're doing is pulling out random cards, and it's an ARG, not an ARG, an augmented reality.
They already have a Warhammer 40K card game.
They do. Yeah.
It's augmented reality. Exactly the same rules, except when you put on the special patent pending Games Workshop sunglasses.
ARGs. Listen, man.
Yeah.
Is there any game that actually has that right now? Because that's Yu-Gi-Oh! As fuck, and I would be interested in that.
Well, but there was a game that came out at Gen Con several years ago that where it didn't use glasses, but you use like an AR app on your
mobile
phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they have yet to make it really work.
For those, that's the biggest problem for those ones. Like, hypothetically, like this is just like weird stuff, but like augmented reality and virtual reality are kind of mixing now, because they have headsets that have like forward-facing cameras on a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of like tech examples of this sort of stuff happening, and in all in the, like, for example, any Warhammer game or any tabletop war game is going to be the first ones to take advantage of this 100%, because of the fact that in order to show these sorts of things, it could just simply be a card with a chip in it, RFID, or any sort of like weird, QR code on it. And you could basically have like a full working 3D system. There's actually, back when I was doing R&D stuff, I actually invested in a company that does it specifically for Dungeons and Dragons. So you pull up your phone and you can basically see an entire 3D scape in front of you that doesn't require any physical stuff, but it works better if you actually have like a physical environment, like say models and stuff, and you put units on top of it and they can all animate and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think that's a pretty good future, especially if you could tie it into like some sort of card pack system as well. There's a lot of money to be made in that shit.
The issue here with Games Workshop is that they consider themselves to be an art hobby supplier, basically. So they make models to be built and painted as such. So their product isn't the game. Their product is the miniatures, and the game is just the mechanism that actually sells the miniatures. So I think changing their system to a virtualized system would be counterintuitive to their mission statement. I mean, they are certainly they give their property out to anybody that will let them, want to build something on 40K. There's the whole joke about giving a license to a pigeon that flew in their window one day. But they are trying to get more AAA games, and they're doing a TV series now. So I think, look, it's the fastest growing stock on the UK stock exchange, Games Workshop. If you put £1,000 in 10 years ago, you'd have almost £500,000 now.
Yeah.
So,
well, the other thing that I was looking into investing in a long time ago was, you've probably noticed this, but there's a humongous upsurge in Kickstarter related 3D model packs that people make. And all it is mostly just like these guys making these incredibly detailed 3D unpainted models and they essentially just sell them in these huge packs that cost like thousands of dollars. And every single time that they put them up, they're like, yep, we only need like 15 grand to get this stuff made. And then it like tips over into like the millions every single time. It's absolutely insane. And there's a whole big thing about like, yeah. And then if you do that sort of business, then you move into board games and you make a shitty board game, but all it is just like a vehicle to sell really highly detailed 3D printed models. Like, there's a lot of money to be made in just selling that plastic stuff to people over and over again.
Yeah.
There was actually like an interesting system that a person came up with the other day, which was like, it was paper thin models that were like incredibly detailed, because like there would be like the front and back of a model were like realistically drawn and painted and detailed, but it was like the like super thin. And then they had like really detailed like bases that you'd stick the models onto. And just that system alone made like, I don't know, just under $1 million US on Kickstarter, just for something stupid like that. It blew my mind, but I don't know.
Kind of say, did I tell you I met the person who invented the QR code? What's funny is that, you know how some people put like QR codes on their business card, which take you to like a virtual version of their business card. His QR code on his business card was a pixelated picture of his own face. He's a Japanese guy. It's a very Japanese thing to do, I feel. With that sort of, I created this code, but I'm going to make sure that in this code, my business card is my face.
Dave, let's do your intro.
I feel like I've already done it.
Okay, Pondo, let's do your intro.
Yeah, no, I haven't really done much. I've mostly just been like sitting theory crafting the list for said army that we're doing at the end of this season.
That's good. I would love to help you by doing nothing to impede your progress.
So
I will also help by doing nothing.
So yeah, I'm kind of like at the point where I'm nitpicking things, and I'm just like, do I want to do this? No, I think I want to do this. All right, how about this? No, yeah. The only things that I have no problem with are like the things that I have like no amount of room for, like the Sister Sororitas and the Mechanicus.
Just remember, Nero is going to have power armor, and in the thrice locked chest of Nero the Blade, there is a full Aegis defense wall with weapon mounting systems ready to go that he took from the wreck. So I want that to show up on the tabletop. I want Nero to start out in the power armor with the Aegis wall right in front of him. Be like, come get me!
I feel like each season you should add one more lock to Nero's chest.
Thrice is good, but when do you go from there? The quad lock?
We 4 times locked, I'd say. Then,
the 4 times lock doesn't sound as good as thrice. Thrice has
because you went all the way to thrice. You should have started just the locked case. Now the next season could be the twice locked. But
you want to count down?
What about if it's
you picked early?
That's
probably picked early.
You get 4 thrice locked locks on it, and then it like doubles in.
We'll work on it. Maybe he'll have a second chest inside the chest.
I imagine there's just like locks that don't actually do anything. They're just kind of like.
Why? Listen, why are you impugning the honor of my locks? They work. They're locks. They work lockwise.
I mean, they're not actually.
Puzzle, and you have to know Nero the Bullet's like deepest, darkest secrets in order to unlock the puzzle box to get into the.
What is my favorite activity? Murder. My God, they figured out the code.
But it's murder spelt differently, and the only way you can know that is if you like had a power meeting with him, and then the power meeting you also like have to record it, then write it down, then put it through a cipher and take every second letter in order to get the correct spelling.
No, it's like you social engineer by following someone in the bar, and then halfway through the conversation you're like, oh my gosh, my grandmother had a cat. Did your grandmother have a cat? What was your grandmother's cat's first name?
The only way
where did you go to? What was your high school mascot? You're just like, why are you asking these questions?
Yeah.
So let me give you a tip, Pondo. with your list, with your theory crafting on that list is, you remember when you're doing a power level game, is that the power level of something doesn't change when you change its loadout. So
Yeah, I know that much.
Oh, you're like, all right, everybody's carrying missile launchers now.
No, you said the opposite. Like, everyone's carrying like just chainswords and bolt pistols. Like, you realize that, your sergeant could be having combi weapons, and you could be putting a storm bolter and a 100 killer on that predator.
The only time, unless specified, that the power level changes if you increase size.
Yeah.
Like if you, because they'll state like a squad of tactical marines will go up to from 4 power level to 7 if you have 6+. So if you have 10, you might as well go up to 7. Yeah, no, I got that much. There's some things that I just don't want to really fiddle with, because it'd be a lot of things for me to try to remember. Like all of the little guys. All right, this guy has plasmas. These guys have that. So it's going to be a lot of, these guys have all the same thing.
Don't worry, we fully trust you to run your character and every other character besides ours.
That was the other thing I
will remain in a constant confused state in order to make sure that you deliver.
Oh, no. You'll be the eyes of the audience. You'll explain to them what's happening by going, now, why did this happen?
I'll be the
everyman.
What do they call it? No, not the everyman. Like, oh god, there's a name for that character. It's just like, so tell me about how you got into this situation again. It's a great story, huh? I was like, well, now that you mention it, I've told
the
you
mob
before,
character,
but I'll tell you again. This is the 4th time you've failed to remember the code. The old one used to be 4497. The new one, just so you remember.
All right, Deus Ex, calm down. It's a piece of paper that says this is the target. Make sure to burn this after reading.
Yeah.
What I will say, Pondo, just to be cryptic,
the guy dies holding a ladder and a piece of paper.
just to be cryptic, Pondo, there are a couple of choices on the lists that lead to plot relevant things if they appear in the battlefield, some of which you have not chosen.
My God, Pondo, why haven't you chosen? Listen, you need to 100% this playthrough. You need to hit every single plot relevant point. We need to be stuck in cutscenes constantly. All right, this needs to be Commander Shepard.
Go to the Steam guides.
Commander Shepard, Mass Effect 3, the Citadel DLC. Everyone's alive and happy, and you've done all of their suicide mission quests. All right.
I had to look through that list and see what I previously picked, because I changed a couple of things on there and took it out. Now I got to see.
This is a man who didn't include Sister Miriam. It's a problem.
I included a Librarian and Terminator armor, which would be probably our
didn't you read the
favorite.
walkthrough James posted earlier? If Miriam doesn't die a heroic death on the right-hand side of the map in the 3rd turn, we don't get the secret cutscene where we get Excalibur.
It's like when I play
by the way, if a character has anime hair, we have to make sure that we recruit them. And that's pretty much the rule there.
Listen,
because you can tell that they have plot when they have anime hair. That's how it works.
No, listen, there's never been anything worse about that than Fire Emblem, because in Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn there was a character
was the joke I was going for.
No. There was a battle in Fire Emblem where there was a character you could only recruit if you were standing on a certain tile on a certain turn with the specific character. It was in the middle of the desert. And that character had to walk all the way out into the middle of nowhere and stand there until the turn came around. And then you would recruit like someone she met 20 years ago who just showed up at the edge of the battle, who doesn't appear otherwise if you aren't there then and with that specific person.
I found that with Fire Emblem Three Houses, where a couple of times where I found out after my first playthrough that in some of the later battles, certain things changed if certain characters landed a death blow on certain other NPCs, so you could actually save some of them as long as certain characters are the ones that actually defeated them.
I felt really bad because during my Black Eagle playthrough, it was like recruit Claude or kill him. And I was like, man, I'm the Queen Empress of the world. Fuck Claude. I'm gonna kill him. And then in the second playthrough, I was like, oh shit, I could have recruited Claude and then used him on the front lines.
You killed him after he was the only person which danced with you at the big dance.
Of course not. No. Well, that's true. Look, he is the only person
you could just do a spoody playthrough and just let everyone die.
Your character's at the side of the room.
Everyone die.
You're right.
comes over.
Claude is the only one who pulls you onto the dance floor. Look, it's just because he's so horny. That's how Claude works.
And apparently upside down.
What?
That's how that works. Every single piece of official art, he's upside down in. So
I didn't know that.
That's the joke. It's
well, his voice actor is currently doing a Black Eagles playthrough as Claude. So he's voice acting Claude playing the Black Eagles, and it is incredible.
Out of all the voice actors, he's the one that's most hyped about being in the game. I will admit
well,
that.
no, Flane's voice actor is pretty hyped into it too, and
from the major
is.
three.
Sure, I'll buy that. I'll definitely buy that. Dimitri's wife is also a voice actor in the game, and she's constantly like, "Stay away, you thirsty ass bitches! That's my husband. It's mine. You can't have it." And I'm like, who would want to have that? I haven't played Blue Lions, but he seems like a real fucko.
Nah, he's cool, bro. He's cool, bro.
I really doubt it. Every time I meet him, he's like, I'm tortured by pain and darkness.
Yeah, he's for the girls that want to fix their man.
Oh my! You just use Felix for that.
And me. I want to fix my man.
I love all the fan art of Felix as a cat. Where everybody's just like, I don't want to get close to you. Yeah. And then at the end of the game, he's like, don't go anywhere without me, okay?
I need you to be next to me when you perish so I have something to eat.
Wow. Okay, Amore, go back upstairs.
Oh, man, listen, look.
My cat will 100% eat me in the months before someone comes to check on me.
My dog will sit there and mourn me for the rest of his life. You know, he'll be waiting for me to come back home from work.
Wow.
And he's just walked in. He's looking at me strange. I'm sorry I said that.
Are we ready to get started now? Now that we've gotten past the creepy pet stuff?
We've tripled engagement from our chat just by talking about Fire Emblem, so...
Wow.
And I'm currently dealing with the mind blown that James sent me, so now I got to figure out... Because now I'm like...
Wait, no. Pondo, don't Pondo this too much, okay?
Got it. Listen, you got to bring Viridian, right? As a scholar. As the librarian.
Well, I think I need to bring a Venerable Dreadnought because it's probably the one that we almost killed, just reskinned.
If you bring them, they're just gonna be like, "This is definitely not the same person." Absolutely
Look, this is one GM telling you about the bullshit that James is doing. What if he's just faking you out, man? You know what I mean?
I know he is, but I'm falling for it.
Got him. He's in your head.
I need to get that.
He
extra
owns that real
in.
estate now.
Look, you could have this amazing yacht or the mystery box.
Wow, Dave!
You don't
what
know
a
what's
reference.
in the mystery box. Could be anything.
I would take the yacht for sure.
I don't know. Do you know what's in the mystery box?
I don't give a shit. A yacht is a yacht, brother.
What if it's 2 yachts inside of the mystery box, huh?
That's a chance I'm willing to take.
All right. I mean, that doesn't sound like a very educated guess to me, my dude.
Why would you need 2 yachts if you have 1 yacht? I'm not a billionaire. I don't need a yacht so large.
How many friends
you need
do you
yachts
have?
to supply
Is it at least one?
Look, there's more than
If
one
it's at
C.
least one, then you would know someone who needs
There's
a yacht.
more than
okay?
one C? Is that your answer? Okay.
That's right. This is my Atlantic yacht. This is my Pacific yacht.
Of course.
This is my Mediterranean yacht.
Well, in your case, that would be true because you're a regular world traveler, so you would need yachts in multiple locations.
Okay, well, what happens if you get bored of one yacht and you need to take a vacation from your yacht to another yacht?
Are we ready to get this show started?
I guess so.
I hate these glasses. I'm fucking dying.
Don't mind me. I'm going to be figuring out what cutscenes I can unlock right now.
All right, so if you didn't watch intros, you need to go back and watch the moment where James completely demolished Pondo. James, why don't you give us previously on, followed by some Imperial wisdom?
That's it. Okay, so previously on Rogue Trade: The Last Scion, we see Sister Dawn finding herself in an alien prison, speaking with an imprisoned Eldari Exarch. We see the Hand of Calixis arrive back in the Footfall system. The senior crew confront Liege Lord Moros over the delays to their arrival. Inquisitor Shrain invites the senior crew to his chambers to request travel to Regina 4. And finally, the Hand of Calixis returns to the warp yet again. Thought for the day: no army is big enough to conquer the galaxy, but faith alone can overturn the universe. So we come in where the Hand of Calixis is translating back into real space in the Regina 4 system. Presumably all the senior crew are on the bridge for such an occasion. And the first thing we get is the Etherics officer letting you know. So, Lord Captain, we're picking up 3 vessels in orbit of Regina 4. All appear to be Imperial, but I haven't got full idents just yet.
Can you lock them in?
I'll attempt to raise them.
Run out the guns! Set condition 1 throughout the ship. Red alert.
I have 2 cruiser-sized vessels and 1 looks like a Clipper class. Which one should I attempt to contact first?
I want to say one of the cruisers.
Just pick one at random.
The second one.
All right, the second one. Okay. He starts to work on that, and obviously the ship, I assume, start. So, I mean, I'm sure all the lights have turned red now, and you know, there's a sudden hive of activity as people are like, you know, reporting ready, reporting compartment sealed. You know, there's all sorts of sounds.
Yeah, we'll be done in like 2-3 hours. Ready to go. I know how Warhammer 40K naval battles go.
After about 2 minutes, we were getting a response from the second cruiser. I'm putting them through now. You get a voice that says, "This is Lord Captain Crotwell of the Onyx Ossuary. To whom am I speaking?"
Lord Captain Pierre Cowles of the Hand of Calixis.
Ah, good. You're here. We're here on behalf of the Ordo Hereticus. We've been asked to transport armed forces to the surface to assist you in some intended encounter. We bring a preceptory of the Order of the Valorous Heart.
Oh. Does the Order of Valorous Heart sound familiar? I don't know if I need to...
Probably, I mean, I don't know if you have common law ecclesiarchy.
No.
I'd probably take common law Imperium at -10. Or Dave, you can roll common law ecclesiarchy.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
at +20.
I would just turn towards Dawn. Because I believe she stands directly behind me and just be like, what the fuck?
I'll try it. Worst thing I know is I just don't know shit about it. Yeah, I don't know shit about it.
I like the idea that Sister Dawn like leans in and like explains exactly what it is as it comes in, just like, you know, just under her breath or whatever at him. Yeah.
Oh yes, of course, know what that is. I'd be a fool not to know.
So that it's one of the orders of battle sisters. It's the largest order in the Calixis sector. So it is actually it's a order that's all over the Imperium, but it's the largest group of battle sisters in the Calixis sector are from that particular order. They are not from the Abbey of the Dawn where you come from. They're from their actual location is somewhere else. But you know that Canoness Goneril, who runs that order in the Calixis sector, is effectively the second highest member of the ecclesiarchy within Calixis sector, behind the cardinal.
So they're essentially the jocks of the ecclesiarchy. You know, they're the ones that have the members only jackets and you know.
Yep. They are the
only power armor.
So Nero's going to stage whisper, "Are they Hospitallers?"
No, they are definitely battle sisters.
All right, so Nero's
they're the ones that give the Hospitallers something to do.
All right, so Nero's going to stand the ship down quietly in the background while looking like, oh.
Well, if you're lucky, there might be a couple in there.
Thank you, Lord Captain, for your platitudes.
Canoness Goneril is already on the surface of the planet, awaiting your arrival.
Excellent. I'll make sure to meet her as soon as possible.
As you draw closer to the system, so the 3 vessels there, one of them is clearly a Space Marine strike cruiser. It bears the symbols of the Silver Skulls on its hull. The ship that you're in communication with, the Onyx Ossuary, is definitely cruiser size. You can't make out the class because given that Imperial ship, so most Imperial ships tend to run exterior running lights, so you can make out the crenellations, the symbols, the shapes, etc. This ship is like painted black with no running lights. Basically you can just make out the vague shape to determine that it's cruiser scale.
So is it a black ship? Like
that's probably a fair assessment given that they say they're part of the Inquisition.
All right.
And the third ship is a much smaller Orion class Star Clipper. It's like a fast transport, so it doesn't have the storage capacity of regular transport, but it's made for absolute speed both in the warp and in real space. And it is adorned more like you would expect a merchant vessel to. It hasn't got it's got weapons, but it's not a very your scans of it would tell you that it would be no match for the Hand of Calixis. You would dominate it in a battle if it didn't run away in the first place.
I mean, I believe the Hand of Calixis could take every ship here, possibly not at the same time. We have extreme long-range weaponry and enough speed to outrun anything that can't fight us.
Yep.
Lord Captain, no matter what our next sections are, I believe we should come up with a plan to intercept our Necron enemies before they ever reach the ground. I know that you're greatly anticipating a ground battle, for which I am also thirsting for, but we have 4 ships here. Whether or not this Orion-class Star Clipper stays around, the rest, I believe, will be with us to engage. 2 cruisers and the Hand of Calixis is no small threat to incoming vessels.
I have a feeling that there's going to be a naval battle along with a land battle at the same time.
I don't know if you knew this, Lord Captain, but it's very difficult to have a land battle without winning the naval battle. I realize you may not have dropped anywhere, your time in the Imperial Guard being negligible to non-existent, but if you cannot reach the surface of the planet, you cannot fight on the surface of the planet. What I'm saying, out of character, is that if we kill them in space, James doesn't get a chance to shoot us on the ground, and we can bypass 9th edition altogether.
No, I have a feeling there's going to be things waking up underneath that.
Yeah, they're going to teleport past us using quantum tunneling. Sorry.
You joke about that, but that's a thing they can do.
That's exactly how Necrons get around, is by teleporting.
Yes.
That's exactly what they can
do. But Nero doesn't know that.
We do not understand our enemy, so we should be prepared for any option that comes by.
I agree, Lord Captain.
Ways like us that we can teleport people to the ground, such as those that some Space Marines can do, then it's to be sure that we have all our bases covered.
Don't worry, Lord Captain. I'll be reviewing my naval tactics. I expect I'll have Common Lore Imperial Navy quite soon.
Excellent.
Before the end of the night.
Excellent. I do hope that this escapade will not be as trifling as I am suspecting, but you never know.
Trifling is good or bad, Lord Captain?
Bad.
So you would like the battle to be a full-on engagement?
No, I'd like to.
Trifling would indicate that it is small and not worth your time.
Okay, trifling. I expect it to be.
Are we speaking High Gothic? Perhaps it's an issue of translation.
Maybe.
I can help you if you like. I'm quite familiar with High Gothic. If you need assistance, Lord Captain.
Nero switches to High Gothic and he just says, like, my name is Nero.
Essentially, I'm hoping that the battle is trivial rather than...
Yes, trivial and trifling have roughly the same word connotation, sir.
Yes, apologies.
Well, rather than break down your linguistic and grammatical categorical issues in front of the rest of the crew, instead, I'm going to go, I don't know, jog, and then maybe I'll let Dawn beat the hell out of me.
Sounds
Like-
lovely.
Like she had like a straight face, like just passive. The moment you say that, she gets like this eager look in her eyes.
Nero's going to
like,
turn and
"Oh,
put a hand on her
yes."
shoulder and say, "You're not allowed to bring the burning blade because you will snap my sword in half on any parry. We're going to have to use practice weapons."
I was planning on using my fists.
Oh.
Oh, I thought you were going to use the chain axe.
Yeah, so like Nero's now like, "Oh, well, I don't know. I think I could maybe take you."
2 minutes later.
All right. Let me go do an hour jog and then meet me in the forward gymnasium.
So you receive reports from the various ships here. So the three ships in orbit, if I'm making notes, are the Manifest Destiny, which is the
Oh my god!
Silver Skull ship.
Okay.
Oh my god!
All right.
Got it. Yeah. The Onyx Ossuary, which is the black ship, and the Exultant Lady, which is the merchant vessel. So the group's waiting on the surface for you. So apparently the Exultant Lady bought basically armed forces that you effectively. So we're going to say in the background that knowing this grand battle is potentially coming, that Pierre has organised for forces of an amount to be allocated from the Imperium using that 60 paddle you've got, or roughly.
Yep. Right, and they were
equal to. So apparently there's a Colonel Graver is the commander of that detachment on the surface, waiting for you. Apparently, Captain Bourne and Prognosticator Viridius of the Silver Skulls are on the planet as well. A small Mechanicus detachment led by an engine seer by the name of DOS 19 is waiting for you on the surface, as is Canoness Goneril of the Order of the Valorous Heart. So they've each
missed an opportunity there. You should have called him Doth Protest.
I'm trying to resist the urge to ask, but can you play Doom? Is DOS?
I know. I used a random tech priest name generator and got DOS XIX. Sorry. So there you go. It's DOS 19.
Yeah.
And they basically set up like effectively a bivouac on this planet's surface near the settlement, the Imperial settlement, to amass their troops on the surface, waiting for sort of further instructions.
Okay.
Okay. I have a question.
Yes.
Our administrator there, Macarius Hulk, correct?
Yes.
Has he been doing everything possible to remove monetary resources from those groups, such as charging them slightly too much for food, land use, and entertainment? Or is he like charging them a regular amount? He's comping them. I want to know the level of mercantilism this man is showing.
Okay, let's see. He's a satrap. What's his trait? Quick look at that.
Well, he was actually like one of the few that are competent that we originally had.
You got no one competent. What are you talking about?
Oh, well, my mistake. He was very good at falsifying his competency then.
Oh, no. So administrative expert. Okay. So I would say that what he is doing is he is ensuring that all standard tariffs are levied. So he's not fleecing them, especially because he probably is he hasn't got enough of a backbone to try and fleece Sisters of Battle or Space Marines. He's probably charging the merchant vessel a fee to stay in high orbit for the duration of their stay as well. But he's probably intimidated by the other groups to really try and do anything other than meet all the standard expectations of port fees but he's ensuring that they do cover their costs. In fact, what you can glean is that the reason that the merchant vessel is still here is that he's negotiating with. They only came here to bring the armed forces. They're not staying, but he's negotiating with them to take a load of basically take a shipment now.
Okay.
So that
it sounds like I have some bargaining to do.
Listen. At the very least, this guy is doing his job correctly, which is surprising.
That's what I was saying. He's like the only competent one that we've had of the people we originally had.
You know, I wish he was fleecing them a little bit. What are they going to do? Argue about it? They signed the ancient pacts, okay? They're going to be here one way or another.
Yeah.
But at the he's reached minimum level of competence, which is great because it's actually a surprisingly high bar in this setting.
The problem really is that like black ships and space marine ships don't really carry money. You know,
right?
They sort of, you know, walk into a place and get what they need without having to actually like put their hands into their pockets to pull out their ceramite wallets.
Right.
So a lot of it's
could
like,
you
what
make
he's
a
getting
wallet
is
out of ceramite? That doesn't seem right.
he's getting more. What he's getting is promissory notes from them, like, you know, commitment from the commanders of these forces that the colony will be appropriately compensated for any.
Exactly. But
and the administrator will have to work out later on how that's actually
right.
done.
You got to be like 110%.
Yeah.
Hazard pay. You know, combat duty, unusual sanitary proclivities. I'm assuming that when Space Marines take a poop, there's a lot more than normal. Sewage system's gonna get backed up. That's what I'm saying, man. You gotta charge them extra.
It's probably unpleasant, but Space Marine Power Armor actually recycles their waste into nutrients.
Didn't need to know that.
Re-ingest. Yep.
Of course it does.
What's for dinner tonight? Poop. Yes.
I guess it's better than eating dead orc.
My feces is cleansable. The dead orc is not.
Wow, we've sailed right past one of my 7 rules for streaming, so let's keep sailing right past that.
All right, still got 6 more to break. And the other thing you get informed from the surface is that, along with the Exultant Lady, a kill team, a Deathwatch kill team, arrived and is waiting for Inquisitor Shrain on the surface.
Have we checked to see whether A, they're loyal, and B, there are any former Dark Angels among them?
Well, they didn't send you a list of all their team. Apparently
Nero immediately demands such a list.
Okay, no worries.
And he demands it by saying, like a loose Deathwatch Space Marine tried to kill the Inquisitor. Provide your identities and reaffirmations of loyalty immediately.
Okay, so you'll get sent a list that there is a Nova Marine, a Carcharodon, a Storm Warden, an Imperial Fist, and a Salamander in that kill team.
All right, so Nero takes this list to the captain and goes, I don't know what any of this means, but there are no Dark Angels, and they have affirmed their loyalty. All right, so Nero just leaves, and then he goes to fight Dawn.
Okay, so did you want to play that bit out?
What's your weapon skill rating, Don?
It is 50.
Yeah, we don't need to play it out. She beats the hell out of him.
I mean, probably the only kick is going to be that her strength versus his toughness. As to whether she can probably land a lot of blows.
My strength is 40, and my toughness is 50.
Okay, well, her strength is 40, so she probably has to land a lot more blows on you to really knock you around.
Yeah.
Whereas your blows on her are a bit harder because she's only got toughness 30.
No, he Captain America's the whole time. He doesn't win the fight, but he's just like, I can do this all day. I got the God Emperor behind me. Ah! Ah! Hitcha!
Well, in that case, Sister Dawn is like very, very, very eager to
beat the hell out of him.
Dave, are you cracking your own knuckles in preparation for this fight?
Sorry, what was that?
He's cracking his own knuckles.
Yes. So she is extremely eager, and she is probably like laughing, and even if you're not like going down, she's enjoying just hitting. So yeah.
So the one thing that should definitely be noted in this fight is that, unlike his extremely refined personal combat system and ballistics skill, every part of his combat style is directly out of a manual. Yeah. If you've read Imperial Guard 101 Cadian Regiment, you know exactly what move he's about to throw at you with how much force. There's no attempting to hide any of his moves. Yeah.
Dawn is quite little, so she is probably like biting and punching and doing everything like that. Like kicking you in the groin, that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
Where does this fight take place?
The forward gymnasium, or whatever the Imperium would call it.
So
Colosseumatoria. I don't know.
Probably that there are some other people there either training or doing service work, whatever the case may be. And what happens is after a short period of time, the fight attracts an audience. And it's not long before the audience starts exchanging bets on who's going to win. In fact, probably most of the bets.
Nero's just shouting, "She's gonna win! Nero. Don't bet on me!" Look at her; it's like a badger.
Yes, a badger is probably the most apt animal to describe her fighting style. She goes into a very uncharacteristic rage when she gets into fights. And for Dawn, I think I'm going to, especially when I get a few more advancements, I think her personality is going to become more aggressive over the period of time. So this is sort of like, the sister out of the Abbey finally getting to do some exploration, gets the taste of combat and likes it a little too much. Sort of
the exact opposite for Nero. Well, normally he excels at murdering and ballistics combat. When he's in hand-to-hand combat, it's all like he's still on the training field. He's like, "Ha! Huh, no! Stop trying to kick down there! This is a personal fight."
He's like on your back, just like biting you and punching you in the
he's not concerned about that. That's totally, probably he's just like, it's like an orc. Happened when a Gretchen got on me the 12 years ago.
Where did you get the sand to throw in my eyes?
I feel like Nero's okay with every tactic but kick him in the groin. That's the step too far.
Is he always instinctively reaching for his sidearm as part of this hand-to-hand combat?
No. I do like the imagery though that maybe he is fighting while holding the heavy bolter. It is a thing that he has to fight with the whole time because he's trying to get used to melee combat while holding it. So he's just using it as a club, but also to block with.
No, get away from me.
Yeah. This is not the most glorious moment in Nero's career. And at the end of it, he's lying on the ground. He's got the heavy bolter on top of him, and he's just like, that ended pretty much like how I expected it to.
He's over in the corner leaning against the wall, just being like...
Nero is mocking people who bet on the fight lasting a certain amount of time, and he's just like, "That's right, twice as long. Get fucked. I'm harder than you think."
Yep.
Someone bring me a water bottle. I can't get up.
All right, Nero is. You're both probably taken off to the infirmary just to make sure there's no permanent damage. But thankfully, I'm pretty sure everyone's able to pull their blows enough to not cause any serious harm. Okay, the ship is in orbit of Regina 4, along with these 3 other ships.
Nero summons that little shit. Forget what we called him.
Cade, you mean?
The blank, Cade.
Yeah.
He's just like, "Cade, have you been doing your combat training over the last 6 episodes like you're supposed to be?"
Yes, Master Nero. Master Bulwark.
Fantastic.
His low Gothic has gotten better as well over this time.
Your language is better. Show me your moves.
All right. He will...
Get down and give me 25 push-ups.
So I'll give you an idea of his stats. So what does he got? 40 weapon skill, 30 ballistic skill, 30 strength, 30 toughness, 43 agility, 20 intelligence, 30 perception, 30 willpower, 20 fellowship.
Okay, so he's really bad at talking to people. And the whole time, Nero gets down and does push-ups with him, and he's like, "Your toughness is too low. You're weak. I want you to become strong like me, and that's why you're going to keep up with me 1 for 1. So that's where the Lord Captain is going to find Nero in the shuttle bay, just like 1-for-1ing push-ups with Cade. And probably there's no one else in a ring around them because Cade has that field of like people hate him.
Yeah, and Cade's got a physique like a featherweight boxer.
Yeah,
you know, so he's wiry and he's and he's spry, but he's not a big physique. Like he's only like 12 or 13 years old, I believe.
Yeah,
so.
Nero just keeps yelling at him. We gotta put more meat on those bones.
So taking now also Bondo, when you're organizing your trip to the surface, you get a request from your high factotum to join you as well, because you're pretty much at the point now where you need to start collecting all the reports from your settlements and making any sort of adjustments as required. And so he wants to go through. He's collected all the data. He wants to go through that list of things with you as well.
Okay.
Yep. So this is Alexandro von Heppel is your high factotum.
Alexandro von Heppel. Okay.
I hate him just because of the name already. I assume he speaks High Gothic. He's a noble.
Sorry, Van Heppel. Van Heppel, not von Heppel. Van Heppel. So he's Dutch rather than German.
That doesn't make me hate him any less.
Shout out to our Dutch viewers.
Listen, it's not like back in the day where I was big in Guam. Look, Croatia's where it's at right now. Thank you, Croatia.
It's all those people on holidays that can't leave.
Yeah. So everywhere, basically, is what you're saying. Yeah. All those people everywhere. Nero is gonna pre-board the shuttle and then open the shuttle's communication to the ship's Master of Vox and just be like, Master of Vox.
Yes, this is Roos Marnet.
Yeah.
Yes, Master Nero.
Call Sister Miriam on the planet. She should be with the primitives. You set up a mission with them.
So put her through to you.
Well, who else are you doing? Yes, put her through to me.
Sorry, am I calling her to send a message or am I putting her through to you? Okay.
Put her through to me. Yes.
Okay. All right. So it takes him probably like 5 minutes because she doesn't have a field vox, so he's got to find someone.
I mean, Nero got the shit beat out of him, and then he just did a bunch of push-ups with a kid that when you stand near him, you don't like him. So he's probably using these 5 minutes to like cool down.
Okay, no worries. And then someone hands you the Vox receiver, and you hear Miriam's voice.
Miriam, are you alive?
Yes.
Are you a heretic trader yet?
Am I a heretic? No.
Okay, good. I was just asked to check in on you. I gave a personal pledge that I would protect your safety and make sure you didn't turn or anything. You haven't had any like weird dreams or any urges to flip over to the bad people?
No, Nero.
Hey, look, I'm just checking in with you, Miriam. Now, how are you going converting all those savages to the true God Emperor?
Well, very well, in fact. They
like thousands or millions? Give me a scale here.
Well, this is a system. So I have reached thousands, but what we have is we are creating missionaries within their community as well.
Fantastic.
That spread the word further.
Good.
Language is definitely the barrier, but I've managed to work out a basic methodology of communicating, but it's easier for them to convince others themselves too. So, it's more So she's working directly with the more regular natives, but they're also trying to sort of break down the sort of religion surrounding the
fallen angels. Yeah,
the fallen angels. Yeah. Not the fallen angels. No. So I mean, because there's the two groups. There are the regular natives, right, and there are the ones that are pushed out into those separate communities because they are the children of two.
Right.
Yeah.
But their religion is based around fallen angel mythology, right? It's
that's right.
You have to go. So that's why we sent her, so that she would be like, "Hey, that's dumb. Here's the real religion."
Yeah. Once again, though, Miriam's not a missionary, so she can preach the Good Empress Creed, but she's not as skilled at sort of saying, oh, you believe this? Well, let me connect that belief with what I believe. It's more like, well, no, you believe that? That's wrong. Let me tell you what's right. That's sort of more Miriam style. But at the end of the day, she's getting traction because they don't have a highly developed religion. It's more sort of like ancestral pass down where they don't have large concepts about the afterlife. They just know one exists and this is where you go to do it. And then I guess you'll find out what happens there when you get there. So there's not a lot to break down in order to rebuild. But she's got progress. She's making progress.
Fantastic, Miriam. It's so good to hear your voice again. I hate to say it, but I almost missed you. Now, did you ever figure out the mystery of why our ships aren't allowed to approach their main villages? There was something where they wanted us to land and go in on foot. Have you figured out that mystery?
Yeah, because they didn't quite understand technology, they were concerned that the mechanisms that the blanks had, effectively the aura they produce, which is amplified when they're in larger groups, may interfere with technology. The technology to them is magic. Magic doesn't work.
I understand.
Around there, yeah. So in any case, they were worried your ship might have crashed. But we have tested it. It's all not true. If you want to land,
Nero's going to flash back to where he was trying to convince the Lord Captain of this exact thing, and then they had to ride camels for hours. All right. So Nero says,
giant lizards. All right.
Okay. Okay. Lizard camels. Nothing will ever beat the super crocodiles that the lizards rode in New Game Plus that almost ate the entire party. That was some hot shit.
That was a good episode.
Yeah, I know. It was a good episode. Miriam, how would you feel if we asked a contingent of the sisters that have landed on planet to come surge and reinforce you in terms of this? I mean, it's only a couple of hours away. They could still be back on any potential battlefield quite quickly, but maybe more sisters might help you spread the word faster, or someone more suited for this work.
So I met with Koronus Expanse when she arrived here a few days ago.
I see.
And while she hasn't sent sisters specifically to help, I think that, having more can't hurt. Did Sister Dawn arrive on the Hand of Calixis?
Yes, Sister Dawn Leteinia is with us. She just got done beating the shit out of me, trying to kick me in the nuts.
Okay. She has some more missionary experience. Perhaps if she's with you while you're on planet, she could help with this matter.
I see. I can ask her, but it could only be a request. She is an officer aboard this ship who is not in my chain of command, even if I definitely am very scary.
In any case, she should definitely meet with the Koronus while she's here. She shouldn't miss that opportunity.
Is that like a form of entertainment for your people? Like, meet the Koronus, get an autograph? Is she famous among your order?
What do you mean, my people?
Sisters of Battle.
No, so first off, I'm not a sister of battle. I'm a member of the Epta Sororitas. But
wait, there's a difference?
Yes.
I thought that Sisters of Battle was just like the cool, flashy name for the Sororitas. My deepest apologies. My common lore Imperium appears to have deeply failed me.
So she is. Koronus Goneril is the second highest member of the Imperial Ecclesiarchy in the Calixis sector.
Yes.
So any person of faith should jump at the opportunity to have her counsel.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Should I be meeting with this person? As you know, I would love to be made an Imperial Saint after I die, presumably when my body is ripped to shreds by an enemy of the state. So maybe she could get a good look at me, maybe take a pick thief for the statue. I could do some poses for her.
Personally, I would very much love to see that conversation. You should definitely reach out to the Koronus for her.
Miriam, there's something in your voice, the eagerness with which you express this informs me that this might not be the best idea. I'm starting to learn to pick up on subtext without murdering people.
Then truly you have grown, Nero.
Well,
the time apart has been well served.
I was almost stabbed to death by a Death Watch Space Marine. It's been a rough time.
All right, I need to hear a lot more about what you've been up to in the last 2 months.
I feel like the subtext is, would you like to know more?
Yeah.
Like,
So Nero's just like, look, we'll talk in person. We'll see if Dawn wants to meet this Koronus Goneril and then fly her out to go assist you. In fact, I'd feel better if you were returned to the Hand of Calixis for now. I've given my personal pledge of your safety, and I don't know what's going to happen, but the Hand of Calixis is a giant armed bunker, so I'd like you back there. We'll be coming to pick you up soon. All right. Nero out. All right, you hang up first.
No, you hang up.
It's like the boxer where it's like, the line's already dead, sir.
Excellent.
Right,
so yeah, Nero's gonna let Pierre and Dawn know that the shuttle to the surface is ready. And then he's gonna fill them in about the conversation and give every agonizing detail about it, including all the times Nero acted like a fucking idiot. Simply his way.
I like the idea that, like, what was her name? Sorry, the
Sister Miriam.
No, the other one.
Oh, Koronus Goneril.
Yeah, Koronus Goneril. When the name comes up, is just like, Nero.
Yes.
I mean, I know you are not of our ways, but surely
I find that
even
deeply
someone
insulting.
as uneducated as you would have realized the importance of this person.
You've insulted me twice in the same sentence.
I mean, you should know who this person is. That is intended with the insult, I suppose.
I mean, for me, I don't need anyone between me and my God Emperor. I say my prayers to him directly. I don't need a medium to speak to him for me. He's very clearly been watching over me very directly.
She like looks around and just like...
He turns down to the gun. He's holding the heavy bolter and he's like, that's right, buddy. And I know that you'll talk to the Omnissiah for me. He knows that I'm quite the loyal servant.
Okay. I'm just gonna let you continue to believe that because it's a lot easier than the conversation that needs to follow. So
I had a very well marked education on the small planet I came from. Maybe it's not like Terra or a big world like Scintilla. Well, no, that's a city. Or is that the actual name of the full capital world?
it does sound like your education was quite robust. Yes.
So Terra is the entire world is one city now.
Right, but I was talking about. I was just listing large worlds in the nearby area. Scintilla is the name of the planet, or Scintilla is the name of the city? It's like a hive city.
It's like, so Scintilla is a planet. The main city is Hive Sibyllus.
All right, yeah. So yeah, I say Scintilla. I'm just like, maybe it's not as good as the education I would have received there, but you know, when you come from the backwoods of the galaxy like myself, little old Cadia.
Well, all you need to know is that this person is of a great importance to the God Emperor's grand scheme, and that meeting her is an incredible honor.
Can she make me a saint with a statue?
I turn to the Lord Captain. I'm just like, are we ready to go?
Shrain walks up along with Brother Vitrius of the Death Watch. He looks like he's taken off all the sort of weapons he had previously when there was a loose rabid Death Watch Marine on the ship, and is back to sort of just wearing a storm coat. And may I join you to the surface, Lord Captain?
Absolutely, and hopefully soon after I get all through my meetings, we can all fully investigate the Pyramid.
Nero is mouthing business lunch towards the Lord Captain.
And indeed, Master Bullet. I've been informed that the kill team that I requested has arrived on the planet. I should take you to meet with Brother Lonan, the Librarian.
Fantastic.
He should be able to,
he's going to provide me with the psycho reinforcement?
Indeed.
All right. Are there any forms I need to fill out, like waivers for the temporary insanity or massive corruption I might suffer? Something along those lines? Or does the Inquisition just cut that red tape?
All right. He walks past you without answering that question. Like halfway through you say that he just shakes his head and walks past into the ship.
I feel like people are really not taking me seriously today. Nero just says to his gun. As he says that, and we're looking at the gun, he's wearing his new Flava Flav clock reflector amulet. I wonder what's changed about me lately that people aren't taking me seriously. All right, pilot, everyone's on board. Put us underway.
So I feel like when you got that, then what happened was you got like your requisition got you the electronics of a refractor field, but you just found some jeweler on footfall to actually like put it, and they just found that like this gaudy piece they had and put the electronics into this gaudy piece.
I want
to
be clear that the clock is fully functional, and he uses it to time when his next meeting is.
So it's set to ship time, is it?
Yes.
Okay, no worries.
It's set Zulu to the ship.
Okay, no worries. So the shuttle ride to the surface is pretty straightforward. You can see that not far outside the landfall settlement, there is this a collection of temporary buildings. They've already landed several tanks as well for the various forces to aid in the upcoming defense. But they're all just in a state of preparedness. They're not near the fallen ship ring. They're just near the landfall settlement.
Oh, Lord Captain, are we bringing tanks to the fight? I haven't looked at our list yet.
Yes, as many as possible.
Fantastic. If there's one thing I like, it's tanks. I was hoping to learn how to drive one soon, and in fact, I'm learning right now. He holds up a manual for Imperial Guard, how to operate a Chimera modular platform.
Congratulations on your purchase of the Chimera. Mars pattern Chimera.
I previously did have a couple of guardsmen set up, but I'm thinking I'm going to attempt to see if I can get them switched out for maybe more vehicles as possible. But I'll see.
Lord Captain, you know what they say. There's no kill like overkill.
Well, sometimes you need people on certain objectives that need to be maintained.
Sure, they also say things like, any problem that can't be solved with a heavy bolter requires a tank?
I have not heard that.
It's something that I said in the trenches, but I mostly said it to no one because they were all dead, and it was just me and my heavy bolter.
Quite.
If the Lord Captain shits in the woods, does anyone see it?
Yes. Probably Miriam, because she's tracking everything he does.
It's actually quite been freeing the past couple months.
Well, she's going back on the ship now, sir.
Yes, I'm coming to terms to that slowly.
Am I familiar with Miriam at all as a player?
Yes.
As a character, sorry, not a player.
As a character, yes. So Sister Miriam is, so what you know of her is, so she is relatively well known within the Abbey of the Dawn. She was a Sister Dialogus. So they're the ones that are like, taught all the bad shit so that other people don't have to. And
she's the gatekeeper of the crazy tomes. Yeah.
Yeah, and in that capacity, she was exposed to something pretty terrible, and they pretty much had the choice of either execute her for knowing too much, not because she did anything wrong, but because that she was exposed to something that she shouldn't have been, or alternatively to wipe her mind. And so she was mind wiped by the Inquisition, and she was reassigned to the Order Famulus, which is like, so the Order Famulus pretty much look after things like ensuring proper breeding of imperial bloodlines, educating the children of nobles,
They're the people that take care of the making sure that the family trees are correct, right?
That's right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, she couldn't stay in the Dialogus because there was too much risk that things that she would see would potentially, awaken those deleted memories. So she's pretty much just given like this, for whatever service she previously provided, she was allowed to keep living, but she's been reassigned to this relatively perfunctory role of educator slash. She's got medical experience, and so far as like she understands biology and proper breeding as such. But yeah, she's sort of in a retirement job, despite only being in her, that she's probably a bit older than she actually appears to be, because she has had rejuvenate treatment, but she is effectively a non-person within the order. She doesn't really carry any authority or anything other than just the fact that people accept that she did something heroic, but that no one could talk about it, and she's now sort of living a half-life after that.
She's like she's literally like a Death Watch Space Marine. What do they call them where they cast off their previous chapter?
A black shield.
Yeah, she's like a black shield for the sisters. Interesting.
Yeah.
Is there like some taboo things that we are not allowed to say around her in order
her command code that releases her memories and allows her to assume her arch-demonic form?
But more like, does she remember getting her mind wiped?
Yeah, she knows she's been mind wiped, and she knows that. And when I say mind wiped, like she still remembers her childhood, she remembers her education. She just doesn't remember, like a portion of her life has been psychically removed from her memory as such, to protect her or protect others.
So we don't have to walk on eggshells around her.
No.
Okay. I normally just threaten her, Sister Dawn. Often.
Have you ever wondered why people have a hard time accepting you as a friend, Nero?
I don't think that's true at all. Plenty of people accept me as a comrade.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go on.
Don, are you saying that we're not? What was the colloquial term you used? Friend?
Yes, friends.
I understand.
Generally, friendship is born from sharing personal problems with each other, going through a hardship together, bonding over alcoholic beverages.
Yes, comrades. Yes, I've had plenty of those in the trenches. Don, do you not consider us friends?
Well, at first I did, but the things you've been saying as of late have made it quite difficult.
Nero looks like he's having a heart attack. He's like, so we're not friends. Normally, I feel like people are very happy that I haven't threatened and murdered them recently.
Some of the things you've been saying recently have put me on edge around you, but
name one thing I've said recently that's worrying.
Well, just now you mentioned that you were constantly threatening a hero of the Order.
You mean Miriam?
Yes.
That's true. I do constantly threaten her. Don't feel bad about it, though. I constantly threaten everyone.
Okay, I think this conversation is over, Nero.
Lord Captain, I think we're gonna land here and talk to Sister Goneril and the rest, and then perhaps I'll take... Canoness Goneril, and then I'll take Dawn, who's no longer my friend, out to see Miriam, who is my friend, and then take Miriam back, but leave Dawn there? I don't know what we're doing. You all decide. Nero looks like he's just like, I don't know what's happening anymore. I've never had someone unfriend me. He's looking down at the heavy bolter, hoping it can provide him with some answers.
You shouldn't look to your gun for the answers, Nero. You can
Nero's
change
just
as
like,
a person.
No, Sister Dawn. I can look to the Omniscience anytime I require answers. He is a facet of the great God Emperor, and we all know it. His gun is a mouthpiece through which he speaks to me. He's the wings that lift me up and keep me barely alive, bleeding on the battlefield, time and time again.
I think that's the hospitaler, but
No, they're the ones that put the blood back inside afterwards.
Okay. She'll cross her arms and lean back on the chair.
Listen, I know how this works, okay? I've experienced this whole chain of events many times. Recently, in fact. It's not a complex theology. I'm not an Eldar.
So you can see as the ship is landing that once again Holt has organised like a full-on honour guard of the people. They were also lined up to greet Pierre Cowles. Holt standing at the line, in front of the line, in front of the landing platform, waiting for him to step down. And the shuttle lands. Well, I would say there isn't a cheer from the audience, but certainly, they're all neatly lined up, ready for your inspection as the shuttle door opens. Holt comes forward.
Nero's the last one out the door. He's dying based on everything that he's heard.
Lord Captain, it is a pleasure once again to welcome you back to our humble settlement, along with so many other allies of your household. I am truly surprised that the forces that you can command. I do hope that they are here in vast accession of what is required to defend this place. I really hope that such forces are not arrayed against us, that this is what we need rather than what we have.
As do I, though I would rather be more safe than sorry.
I have received a request from the various commanders to establish a location for a war council. They have some specific requests that are taking us some more time to fulfill than others, but I'm sure we can have something together in not too long an order.
Excellent. As soon as that is done, the better.
Yes, indeed.
How are how's the negotiations going with the merchant ship that's here?
So far, well. Captain Fowles is a shrewd negotiator. Certainly, he's a canny merchant who understands the value of his ship and what it offers specifically. I think that I would like to potentially have him on the side for future operations. So I might, well, unless you want to intercede, I might cut him something of a deal this time around, only so that we can have additional business with him going forward. But of course, I'm happy to bring you in on the current negotiations. If you want to take over, that is, of course, your prerogative, Lord Captain.
We can discuss later on what sort of deal you have planned. We can see if we might be able to weasel something a little bit better for our end, but...
Yes. We've also started receiving various communications from your other settlements ready for you to review with your high factotum when the time is appropriate.
Yes, excellent.
Yes. Shall I have a dinner prepared or some other festivity for your arrival?
Yes.
I very well.
Yes. Thank you, Nero. Yes, absolutely. We'll be sure to invite the Koronus Captain, Librarian, essentially the people of the War Council, including the Inquisitor and the Death Watch.
Nero leans over to the Lord Captain and says very quietly in Rogue Trader Cant, I don't believe that the Space Marine will eat. Apparently their power armor feeds them their own poop. Then he leans back as if everything he said... He smiles so that it seems like everything he said was not the conversation he just had.
Dawn will lean into Nero and be like... Dawn will lean into Nero and be like, that can't be true.
Nero, continuing to smile while looking at Holt, will lean over, and again, in Rogue Traders can't go. Listen, I have this book about Deathwatch Space Marines that explicitly says that this is exactly what happens. It's horrifying to me.
She'll kind of like gag a little bit, like.
In any case,
Nero will give a little laugh like they just told a joke. Administrator Macarius Holt, after having viewed several other administrators across the space colonies, I must say I originally underestimated your level of competence, and I want to congratulate you for being the most competent administrator I've ever met. Your skills are with renown, sir.
Thank you for the compliment, Master Bullet. I will continue to attempt to exceed my own expectations in the service of the Lord Captain.
excellent, because I'd rather not see you fired like I had to fire the last one.
That's the one where you shot him in the head with the plasma pistol, sir.
Oh, I shot him in the knee first, then... No, I didn't shoot him with the plasma pistol. I shot him with the
I see, sir.
last pistol.
I believe there was an audio recording of his dying screams. Would you like me to replay it?
No, not at the moment.
I understand.
I use that to sleep. I don't want to fall asleep right now.
So like part of this is a show because he treated Holt poorly and now he's treating Holt better, but he's also still threatening the man in the end, like continue to do good or else.
Yeah. You're the best person we have for now.
For now.
Don't fuck it up.
Your bare minimum of competence fills me with great hope, Macarius Holt. The way that you have organized the war camps here is, well, it is what it is. And then Nero's going to turn and walk in a random direction. And then go, wait, which way is the Canonus?
I could have someone drive you over if you like. They're like maybe a half-hour drive.
You should let me drive.
Okay, well, I have a vehicle prepared for you with directions.
Fantastic. I've been learning how to drive. It's probably not a combat vehicle. Well, I can drive those anyway too.
Lord Captain, will you be staying on the surface or returning to your ship for when you are no longer in meetings? Shall I have accommodations prepared for you?
I'll be yet to determine depending on what I need. I probably eventually have to go back to the ship to send out other messages that I have. Acquire some extra things that I might need, etc., etc.
Because one thing, just out of character, you can one of the enhancements you can add to a colony, by the way, is like a residence for yourself in the colony. So none of your colonies have that currently.
I think it adds like culture, where it's like a, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, the colony gets a star maps feature. It's
Yeah.
like, over here you can see the domicile on which the Lord Captain would sleep in if he was here, which he never is.
This is where I'd sleep my
Wow,
Lord Captain.
it's the Hollywood tours.
Yeah, exactly.
See the stars.
It increases order by 1 and gives you a +10 bonus on all charm, commerce, and deceive tests while entertaining persons of significance in their personal accommodations.
Oh, Lord Captain, I heard that you have sleeping arrangements here on the planet. That is quite impressive. Why, yes, I do have many, many beds here. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's, yeah. I think that's a lesser endeavor too, as well. So
Yeah.
it might be something.
I'm not saying do it right now. I'm just letting you know that when you go to your colonies, somebody has to be displaced to provide you accommodation on the planet.
I also love the idea that it's just like, because it's so difficult to do, it's like feather downs. We don't have animals that have feathers on this planet. This is quite difficult.
That's right.
No,
Lord Captain's requested steak for dinner. We don't have any cows.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dark. Cutscene to the Canonus. Who's coming with us? Like, is the Inquisitor coming?
No, the Inquisitor's probably going to go meet with the Death Watch Marines. And check
Oh,
what
I
their
guess Nero
status
goes
is.
to that meeting instead. Nero's just like starting the car up, and then he sees the Inquisitor going to meet with the Death Watch, and he's just like, "I'm sorry, Lord Captain. I have a previous date. Good luck meeting the canonists." He just like he leaves the keys in the car and just gets up and starts running.
I think he's confused by the whole date part. It's like, what?
He shouts back, and in Rogue Trader Canon, he goes, "I'm going to get psychic defenses so that Viridian can't mind control me.
I see. Okay.
Just some dark rituals between friends."
I figured just
He's
found another
become quite
hospitaller.
unhinged as of late.
Yes, it's. I'm not sure. It's interesting to see and quite worrisome at the same time.
I feel like you should remove his privileges from the printing machine. His t-shirts are getting
Yes, I'm
quite
starting
ridiculous.
to see. Yes, and we have to make 100 of those just to make one design. And the past 3 designs have not been selling.
The dark holds of the ship are absolutely filled with with wastage.
All the mutants we kill are wearing his rejected t-shirts. All the
Sir,
misprints.
I know that you might be able to make a little bit of money selling them in bulk to to planets of a lesser status.
Yeah, so
Emperor's my code
misprints and
Pilat. Pilat, this is incorrect. But they're all wearing
really should
I love
invest
the
in
idea
a
that-
way to test drive the shirts, then mass produce.
Yes, well, apparently they don't notice the spelling mistakes until at least 500 have been printed.
Oh, don't tell me about that. I know too well.
that's a bit real. I've had that experience in personal life. That's a bit real for me. Getting t-shirts printed and realizing afterwards we've made a few hundred there was a spelling mistake.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll start with Nero then. So you head off with Train. Well, probably what happened is the Death Watch Marines will come into town. So they've been effectively maintaining just a guard posture a couple of miles from the ship, just to make sure that nothing is coming from the ship.
Out. No one gets eaten by any mechanical beetles. Yeah.
Yeah, but likewise, they're under orders not to go in. So there are 5 Marines. They're all in their full battle plate, so they're all wearing the black Death Watch armor. You can identify one of them has a symbol of a white skull with a starburst symbol around it on a Scion pattern or Scion field on his shoulder plate. He's carrying a very nicely crafted bolter, and he also has a sheathed sword at his hip as well. Looks more like a power sword or something similar rather than a chain sword, based upon the shape of the scabbard.
Am I suspecting that this is the Librarian?
No.
Oh, interesting.
Librarian will be obvious in a moment. There is a Marine whose symbol is a white shark on a sort of grey-green background. He's wearing a jump pack as well and has some sort of power hammer along with a shield covered in runes and words in High Gothic. Then there is the Librarian who is wearing, so you can tell him because he's not wearing a helmet, and there are various sort of pipes going from the hood of his armor into the temples on his head and the back of his head that sort of pulse with psychic energy. He has a claymore sword across his back and a bolt pistol at his hip. His symbol is a blue shield with a lightning bolt design on a grey field, which I think you've seen that one before as well. That's the Storm Wardens you've previously seen. There is a Imperial Fist. He's the other one that doesn't wear a helmet. So he's an older looking Marine with white hair, balding on top and a thick beard. He's carrying some sort of heavy weapon that looks like an amalgamation of a heavy bolter and something else. Like it's you're not entirely sure what it is he's carrying, but it's definitely some sort of heavy weapon. And then the last one, which has the clear dragon pattern of the salamanders, a green dragon's head on a black background, is carrying a melter gun.
Nero's immediately going to go up to the Imperial Fist guy and be like, I want to thank you all for your service and thank you for being here. What weapon is that?
This is a bolt. Fuck, what are they? You should know this, Bondo. What are they? They're the things that with two modes. It's like a heavy bolter and a
combi bolter, Melta.
No. It's a sorry. I can't remember drawing a blank on this. I love these guns.
Fragstorm. Are you talking about the Fragstorm launcher? I know what you're talking. Flak cannon. Ah, shit! Now you got me.
Shit!
It's the Deathwatch specific thing that is very terrifying and is 2d6 blast, which just annihilates hordes. Well, that doesn't annihilate, but it's brutal in the new edition, essentially.
He tells you. I'm drawing a blank as to what it is right now. Sorry.
So Nero goes, never heard of that weapon. I'm guessing it's not Imperial standard equipment. Thank you, my
frag
lord.
Cannon.
Yeah, it's particular to my order or to the Death Watch. Not even regular Astartes carry this.
Truly, you are all a cut above the rest with your protection of us from the foul, horrible Xenos, who will be here soon to murder us all. My lord. And then he's gonna just hang out near the librarian, looking at Train but not saying anything, but trying to get a measure of the librarian. Be like, how tough is this guy? Is he a badass? Does he respect me?
So I was thinking, sorry. So it's an Infernus. Sorry, it's an Infernus heavy bolter. Sorry,
Infernus heavy bolter.
Oh, okay. It's not a. I thought you were talking about the frag cannon.
I was confusing myself. So it is a heavy bolter and heavy flamer in one, basically.
Yeah.
Can the flamer be fired in melee range?
No, that's a heavy weapon in both cases. So.
Damn it.
It's like a heavy combi heavy bolter, essentially.
Yeah. All right. So the guy with the one with the skull thing sort of steps forward, and you get the impression he must be like the kill team leader.
Yeah.
So he asked the Inquisitor, "Who is this man?" And the Inquisitor says, "This is Master Nero Bullet of the Hand of Calixis. He has been of great aid to me. In fact, he was the one who stood up to, or who stood in combat against Brother Ananias and survived." And there's sort of there's some nods of respect from each of the Death Watch Marines. They don't seem to be too worried about the fact
Nero
that
does not take this respect, because for Nero, it's I not only did I not kill the guy, but I was left bleeding and dying, and I don't want to be like, I'm so proud I killed this guy who was on your side, dudes. Man, I murdered that little bitch. That's not what Nero wants to be like. So he does not take their mild respect.
Brother Lonan, this man would like your assistance in strengthening his mind against psychic assault. Is this something that you can do? So Brother Lonan responds with an affirmative. His accent is so thick, it's really hard to pick up exactly what word he said. So think of a really thick Gaelic accent. That it's almost indistinguishable from English, even when they're speaking English. But you get the impression the answer is yes. He will help you, although you're not entirely sure at this point in time how you're going to understand him. And so then the question is back to you. This may take some time. Are you ready to go with Lonan now, or do you have anything else you need to do? It could be several hours, if not days, to complete this.
Nero looks down at his clock, sees that there isn't any the timer's not running on the clock, and he says, "Nope, I'm good. Dawn will find her way to Miriam somehow, and if not, well, that's their fault.
Yep.
I am prepared for the horrific mind torture that is about to happen."
And that the Inquisitor turns to the Librarians like, I would really prefer it if he survives as well. He's been quite useful, and I think we'll continue to have use. Yes. All right, so we'll come back to Nero. He as he leaves with the Death Watch. So it's probably
Never seen
You know what a lobotomy is, young one.
Yeah, it's probably a good time for a break.
Cool
Actually,
movie. It's called Sucker Punch.
I was gonna say the next time we see Nero, he's a servitor.
completely impervious to psychic harm. no
Let me
brain,
tell
no
you
pain.
first. If you eat enough of your own feces, psychic aberrations don't affect you anymore.
Nope, that's not a thing anyone's ever going to say on the show again. We'll be back for the second half soon. Stick around, friends.